but then after that, it is.
I had an ovary removed, and
You had an ovary removed?
yes, at 18.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Wow.
because of because of cysts. My cysts overtook it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you,
So I mean, there's a lot of things. I keep getting like cramping in that area, and I'm like, I wonder if my if my ovary is growing back.
Could happen.
it could happen.
Yeah,
Could
You saw
happen.
Anne Ziekenhorn, she grew back both of her thyroids.
yeah,
We've had other people that have grown up, so it's possible.
right.
And then
So,
your hormones are going to get out. Yeah, wow. So your arm is fine now.
hmm
And that was
my
you
skin
started doing
issues.
something?
Yeah, it was an injury. Somebody hit my arm this way, and it's hyperextended, and then it never really healed right.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and so I literally could only like extend it like this. It was like at an angle, and now I could fully straighten it. It was like literally like this. So
Wow.
Beautiful.
So and then you don't have any issues. So you've had some weight loss. You also had some boils, you said? Was it on your
yeah, I used to break out boils all over my body, like my thighs, underneath my stomach, under my breasts, under my armpits,
very
like
un
everywhere. It was bad.
Uh,
Oh my gosh. And then you also, well, that would depress me just that one thing alone. So
yeah.
Yeah.
and say that cleared up, so then your depression also lifted.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to have really depressed days where I couldn't even get out of bed. I didn't even want to talk to anybody, move, nothing. And that would go on for several days at a time. I would do the ups and downs, like the super hot lows, and then the high days where I'm like super productive, and then I'd be low again. Excuse me.
Are you
But
sleeping better?
oh yes, I've been sleeping. I used to wake up like three, four, 5 times in the night, like just to move and go to the bathroom. And now I sleep all the way through the night. Like I don't get up at all.
Wow.
Oh, so you've had a
Beautiful.
lot of drastic improvements too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And your anxiety is lessened.
Yeah, I didn't really have too much anxiety. Well, I don't know what is exactly described as anxiety. I just thought it was normal. I guess that overthinking and like and the constant like thinking about something over and over again, that's anxiety, right?
That's kind of negative looping thoughts, which will make you anxious, and that's kind of a sign of PTSD.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have that all the time. Like I would think about the same thing 20 times, like it's gonna change me thinking about it.
Oh my
But
goodness.
that's kind of gone away too.
Wow. And so your 10-year-old is fine. He doesn't have a heart issue anymore. He's like pretty much fine now then?
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't really had any issues with his heart.
Since you
And
started,
then
how soon after you started him on the patches? Because you said he had really very high heart rate. It's very unusual for a child to have,
Yeah. Yeah.
hypertension, to have
they
idiopathic.
said he had S or SVT,
Oh,
supraventricular tachycardia.
cardia,
Oh,
yeah, that's very rare.
Yeah, so I
His
guess it was like they were saying that I have like a dual electrical system that tells his heart to pump, and it's a dual one that when stressed goes into double loop telling your heart to pump twice.
Mhm.
And so that's what they would thought it was, but when they went in they couldn't even trigger his heart to do anything irregular. And he said, I don't know if it's not if it's changed or if we're just not seeing it or what's going on. And I'm like, well, he's been on the patches. And so when I we went in for he was supposed to have surgery in December. No, yes, October. And I had started him on the patches probably July, so like right after I started.
Mhm.
And so by July, August, September, October, within 4 months, he had no issue. They couldn't trigger his heart to do anything irregular. And now it's been almost he's getting close to a year now. And he doesn't wear the carnosine every day. It's like every couple of days. But I have him try wearing the 39. You know, kids, they kind of forget, and I kind of forget to tell him to wear them. So he's been sporadic here and there, but at least 2 to 3 times a week he's wearing the 39 and the carnosine.
Wow.
And it still has all of that improvement with just wearing it part-time in a way. It's
Yeah.
fabulous.
Yeah, like 50% of the time. So that's pretty impressive
Yeah.
too. So,
Yeah.
and thank goodness he didn't have to go through that, that horrible surgery. So, wow, that's kind of a big deal. So that's
That's
like,
a big deal.
that
Yeah.
is a very big deal because that's going to affect him the rest of his life. So,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, I'm so happy for him because he's only 10 years old. And
I
so
know.
it's going to give him peace of mind knowing that this is in the past. This has been repaired. And so this is so fantastic. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you both. This is so awesome.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yes.
Cheers.
Yay.
Yes, and it just keeps getting better and better. And you guys are both just doing awesome, saving lives left and right. I mean, like I said, Carol just had 2 people that just got started today, and Brianna just did this awesome health expo that I helped her with. I was there to assist, and I was there, just to like support, and then I was like the speaker. And Brianna was just there talking to people and at this health expo in Riverside, just really just helping save more lives. So I know she still has I sent some text messages to people that we talked to as a follow-up to support, keep on getting them the information so that I invited most of them. I think I got everybody that we talked to, invited them to the symposium just in case. And we'll send them a text message about going tomorrow too. But it's just a matter of following up with them, answering their questions, and kind of going from there.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yes.
So much fun. Nice to have an answer. And the thing with your son and his heart, that's a big deal.
Yes.
Very big deal. Because I've never had heart problems ever, except my husband passed away. I call it a broken heart.
So it was a broken heart. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was. But put the patches on, and it took care of it right away.
Patched our heart right up.
Yep, patched up. It's very wonderful to have answers like that, because those are serious things, especially for a little boy. My goodness.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was so scared because I was like, is this something he's gonna have to deal with for the rest of his life? Is this something that's gonna, impede his life and not allow him to be a normal kid because he couldn't run, couldn't play any sports. He couldn't do when he got sick, it was like we're all on pins and needles because if he doesn't want to drink water or keep water down, he gets dehydrated and that's what triggers his heart every time. It was like dehydration and being sick.
Wow.
And that's what triggered it every time. And it was scary. It was we're always on pins and needles, like, make sure Deshaun doesn't get sick, make sure he doesn't. And if he's sick, let's make sure he's got water. We're constantly filling him with water. Like, come on, we got to get your electrolytes up. And it was stressful. And to like have that peace of mind that it's no longer there and like, we're okay now. That's a big deal. That's a big stress off my back.
Oh, yes. My goodness. Big deal.
Absolutely. So the quality of your and his life and your other kids too, because to have a sibling that is going through a medical condition is stressful for the whole family. Of course, it stresses out the parents, but like when my son, I wish I would have had the patches. They didn't exist when he's 30 now and he was 11 when this happened. But when Kyle came down with Guillain-Barré, I remember my youngest son, because I had to go back and forth between the hospital and home. And then I would have either my mother or my mother-in-law or one of my friends watch my younger 2 ones because this was happening to my oldest, right? And I remember as I was taking Nicholas by the hand, and this particular day, I happened to be taking him to preschool on my way to the hospital. And then Nicholas just said, well, because I think Kyle at that point had been in the hospital for like a month. And for a kid that's like 3 years old, a month is like
that's
a lifetime. That's like, forever because they don't have the notion of time like we do, right? A week feels like months. And so for him, he's like, he just was walking with his head down and he just sighed and he just said, well, I guess I'm never going to see Kyle again.
Oh.
And it just almost like broke my heart when I heard him say that, because I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, no, Nicholas, don't, he's gonna go home. He's like, no, I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him in years, and I guess I'm just not gonna see him again. And I just remember telling him, no, you are gonna see him again, and you're too young to, they don't allow you and pick you because you're under 12. You're only 3 years old, but you will see him again. And he was so dejected and so depressed. His big brother that he admired so much, he really thought that that was it. That, the day that, he was taken to the ER, and he was there when we were at the ER. I'm sure my other two kids were, because we were that was Easter Sunday when we took him. And so, like, for your kids, when your son has had these episodes, it's traumatizing to see one of their siblings, because they're like, it kind of brings them in touch with their mortality, where, wait a minute, only old people are supposed to die. It's like, this is not supposed to happen to kids. And even your mom and dad, it's like all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, this is not the way this is supposed to. This is like a huge disruptor. And then it's not, you have the shock of that. And then the kids are trying to make sense of it. It's not over. Like the next day, they're still lingering with it. It's like, okay, they're verifying it's not a bad dream. This is actually happening. And their little brother or their little sister or their older brother or older sister now is like, they're not like they used to be. Now they got this issue that's looming. It's like a big dark cloud over the whole family. And then they see their grandparents, like my grandmother, not my grandmother, my mother-in-law, Kyle's grandmother, my mother-in-law couldn't stop crying. So needless to say, that would unnerve the kids more, because it's like, if grandma's crying, it's bad, right?
Right.
And then my sister-in-law, it's like a chorus. My mother-in-law and my sister-in-law, they would just see Kyle and they would just like, boo. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I couldn't tell them not to cry, because it is kind of a sad, depressing thing to see them apart. But I'm like, I knew I couldn't afford the luxury of a negative thought. And I was kind of in a different place. And so it was just kind of like I said, it affects the whole family, and your kids are watching their grandparents, their aunts and uncles, how they're reacting to this. They're like, oh boy, this is like serious. This is not like a little cold. This is like, if the grownups are like wigging out on this, then we should be wigging out on this too.
Yeah.
So you've turned the boat around. So I'm so happy for you, for your family, for your son, for your daughters, for your kids, all of them and their cousins and aunts and uncles. It's,
Wonderful.
yeah, it's affecting the whole community. Same thing with Carol. It's like, I'm sure your boys, even though they're grown-ups, they're adults, they probably were like freaked out when you first started coming down with not just the AFib, but you had the AFib and the shingles, and you had this entire lifetime of being fit and fabulous, never having an issue. Now all of a sudden, mom's going to see a cardiologist. Oh my gosh, now she's got shingles too. It's like, oh my gosh, what else is gonna, they're like,
oh. And I got down to 84 pounds.
Yeah, that's got to be extremely disturbing to see.
Definitely saw that.
To again, from being fit and fabulous to all of a sudden it's like, oh no, she's dropping all this weight. Oh no, this can't end well. This is not this is not going in the direction that we want it to go. So for them to then all of a sudden see you turn the boat around, and now you no longer have AFib. Now, you have, it's not totally gone yet, but you've had an improvement where your shingles is not like devastatingly horrific. Your scalp has relaxed. You have improvement. Oh, mom's starting to gain weight back. Oh my gosh. Obviously, you're getting stronger. And then they're hearing about you dirt bike riding for the first time ever. And you're like 84. They're going, oh, she's back. No question about it. She's back.
Well, yes, I heard that the other night. Yep, mom's back.
Mom's back. It's like she's better than before. She's like, bike riding, dirt bike riding, and she's taking prisoners with her left and right. And oh, by the way, just for whatever reason, because she did a 10-mile hike. They're probably going, she did a 10-mile hike. I'm not so sure I could do a 10-mile hike, even if I, set out to do it. She just happened to kind of by accident started walking and didn't.
Started walking.
Yeah.
We'd always walked in the woods and stuff, so I just started walking.
And then lo and behold.
Lo and behold.
And it's like
better and better though. See, with the patches, that was the thing, is the energy in my feet and everything started waking up. Everything started coming back, and it was wonderful. I could feel it as I walked, and I didn't want to stop, so I just kept walking. So,
what a difference! You didn't want to stop.
I didn't want to stop. No.
How many 40-plus-year-olds would love to trade shoes with you and go, oh my gosh, I went on a 3-mile walk and I couldn't wait to stop. And it's like,
oh no,
you did 10 miles and you didn't want to stop, and you weren't sore the next day, and you didn't even take water with you because you didn't expect to walk.
I didn't expect it. Was just up the road from where I live in the country, and I just walked up the road, and I thought, I'll just walk up the road, and then I took off in the woods on the old road. So then awesome. I did think years and years ago when I was young, I hiked from one end of the Olympic mountain range in Washington here near Seattle. I hiked from one end to the other of the whole mountain range, and I'm getting the feeling of, well, maybe it's time to do something like that again.
I wouldn't put anything past you at this point. After the dirt. Like we were on a Zoom like this, and she very, very calmly tells me, but you don't know what I did yesterday. I have no idea. When she said, I went dirt bike riding, I almost fell out of this chair. I was like, you did what? Like, oh gosh. I go, tell me, how did that come about?
The dirt bike was here, and the guy that owns it let me get on it.
That's awesome.
Isn't that awesome? I'm like, oh, I wanted to.
I am going to ride it more once we get more organized here in the springtime and stuff. I'm going to get on it and ride it more.
So. Oh my gosh, you're going to have to get Dan to videotape you, and we'll have to share that here. And I don't know where I can get my hands on a dirt bike here, but I will manifest that somewhere somehow.
That's a good idea.
Dirt bike for sure.
You come this way and we can get you another bike. There's a couple. He has access to some bikes, so we can get you on one.
Okay. So if I don't do it here in California, I will be flying to Yelm, Washington. And we'll be riding our dirt bikes together. Oh my gosh.
And we'll go shopping together for our helmets.
Yes.
Gotta have the helmet.
I'll bring one of my helmets here. Actually, I have bike helmets, so I
have bike helmets, but these are the big.
Yeah, like the motorcycle helmets. Yeah, sign me up for that for sure. Okay. Yeah, that would be a total blast. Oh my
God. So much fun. Yeah, you can join us, Brianna.
Okay, I will. Yes.
We'll have to do a girls' trip, and we'll have to tell Dr. Stacy, you're going to have to come to Yelm, Washington. And here's the deal. Here's the condition. You have to promise that you get on a dirt bike, and we're going to film you and Carol riding the dirt bike together. And she's like, and if she says, well, I've never been on a dirt bike before. Well, it was Carol's first time on the dirt bike just a few months ago. So you've been on the patches for almost 3 years.
Yeah.
You got to get on, I'm sure, because she's super athletic. So I'm sure she's going to go, come on, girl, come on.
Grab that engine and keep going.
Yeah.
How fun.
I'm excited. I got that to look forward to because I'm definitely.
Right?
Yeah. And it's the pictures that I've seen that you've shown me, and Dan and Carolyn Bradley and Dan Meifert. It's so beautiful. All your surroundings, the forest, the trees. Mount St. Helens, that beautiful volcano, in the background. It's just gorgeous. And
Mount Rainier. Yeah.
Mount Rainier. I said Mount St. Helens. I meant to say Mount Rainier. Yeah.
Well, that's close by, but
yeah. It'll be pretty awesome.
Country living. I like it.
Beautiful forest. So Okay. Do you guys have any questions whatsoever you want to go over or any?
Oh, we're doing
Good.
really well.
Yeah, I'm doing good.
You're doing good? Okay.
Yeah, doing really
Yeah.
well.
Sounds good. Just on a side note, I wanted to let you know, Brianna, I did Denisha, the gal who did the juicing. Remember, she had the juice stand at the health.
Yes.
So she contacted me. I had sent her a message to see if she wanted to join the Zoom tonight. She has clients till like 8:45 tonight, but she said afterwards she's going to book a Zoom time with me to go over some information. And then we had also talked about collabing to do like Zooms where she can educate people about the juicing and her CMOS. And
Oh
that,
yeah.
so I think she'll be probably enrolling in the next few days because
Oh,
goes
awesome.
her husband and her have some sort of health and fitness. They're like trainers, and then she does the juicing and he does like I think she does personal training too. I'll find out a little bit more when I talk to her. So, and then I'll let you know when the Zoom call is so that you can be on the Zoom if you're available, then you can be on there too.
Okay, great. And what was her name again?
Her name is Denisha, but it's Deneisha.
Okay.
And I think I sent you her contact information, but if I didn't, let me know and I'll forward it to you.
Yeah, I don't think you sent that one to me.
Okay. Yeah. She was, I think, the last person that I talked to before we finished that expo.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. Perfect. And Bruce said he'll get on your Zoom tomorrow at 2.
Perfect.
And then he wants to set up a time next week where we can just talk about the different options of packages he can get. Because what he wants to do is he wants to purchase a large amount and then he wants to sample them to his people in Dubai and then have them sign up. So he wants to buy a large package to
You want to do
sample them
that.
and then he'll have people sign up underneath it.
Okay, fantastic. So then, yeah. So then you use my Calendly link and you can book, that, he can just join the 2 p.m. tomorrow and then just book whatever, you need to with him and anybody
Okay.
that's interested.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. And Carol, did you get my Calendly? I sent you an email yesterday with the calendar.
Yeah.
You can try booking so that you can just test drive doing that on your computer and we can set a Zoom. And so you can kind of get used to scheduling people on Calendly because it's just going to give you an additional option on top of what you've already been doing. You've been doing pretty good without it, but it gives you another
Yeah,
option.
that's good. I'll learn that one.
Yeah. And you just click it in, you answer the questions, and then you'll get the confirmation via email. And it has for text, but since you don't do texting, it'll just come via email for you.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. I'll work on it.
Sounds
All
awesome.
right.
Okay, ladies. So excited that you guys got to meet. We're growing, we're saving more lives. Yes. How much better can
Hey,
it
Sean wants to say hi.
Oh, is this hi there?
Yes, Sean?
Yes, this is the one that had the heart. Yes, it's Deshawn.
Oh,
Oh,
wonderful.
nice
Good
to
to see
meet you,
you.
Deshaun.
Nice to meet you too.
So excited that your heart is so happy and healthy now. It's doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Very
Fantastic.
good. Very
Awesome.
good.
Oh, I'm so glad that you let us meet him. You introduced him. Oh,
He was
good.
like, "Look, can I come on? Can I come on?"
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So awesome. So exciting. Oh my gosh.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies, and it was nice talking to you tonight.
Sounds good. You guys have a great one, my beautiful friends and gems. Well, I love you and adore you. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
Bye
Bye.
bye
Bye.
for now. Bye bye.